Have you ever noticed that the moment you tell someone your big goal, your motivation just seems to fizzle out? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? There's a powerful psychological reason why keeping your goals to yourself can actually make you stronger. Let me tell you a story about a man who discovered this the hard way. In a quiet, peaceful town, there lived a young man named Marcus. He was absolutely brimming with ambition and incredible ideas. Every few days, a brand new vision would capture his imagination. First, he dreamed of opening the most wonderful bakery the town had ever seen. Then, a few weeks later, he wanted to become a master weaver, creating beautiful textiles. Not long after that, he decided he was going to build his own home from the ground up. But Marcus had a peculiar habit. Whenever a new inspiration struck him, the very first thing he did was tell the entire town. He'd stand right in the middle of the town square and declare with all his might, "I'm going to create the finest bakery this town has ever seen." The crowd would cheer and applaud. They'd shower him with encouragement and tell him what a genius he was. Marcus just soaked it all in. He felt a huge sense of accomplishment. That night, he'd go to sleep feeling like he was already a success. But when the sun came up the next morning and it was time to actually start baking, his motivation was gone. It had vanished completely. Weeks turned into months, and the bakery was never built. So Marcus set his sights on weaving. He stood in the square again and proclaimed with just as much passion, "I will craft the most exquisite fabrics you've ever laid eyes on." And again, the people cheered. Marcus felt that same euphoric rush. But within a few days, that feeling evaporated, and he never even picked up a single thread. This cycle repeated itself season after season. Marcus would announce a new grand plan. The community would celebrate his ambition, but his list of actual accomplishments remained empty. A deep sense of shame began to creep into his heart. He couldn't understand why success always slipped through his fingers. He felt paralyzed by his own inaction. One quiet evening, as Marcus sat by an ancient fountain, lost in his thoughts, an elderly craftsman approached him. This old man was known throughout the town for his wisdom and for his silence. He sat down next to Marcus and asked gently, "Young man, what weighs so heavily on your mind?" Marcus let out a long sigh. "I have so many dreams," he confessed, "but I can never seem to finish anything." The craftsman listened patiently. "When inspiration comes to you," he asked, "what is the very first thing you do?" "I share it with everyone," Marcus replied. "I want them to admire my ambition." The old man nodded slowly. "Meet me here at sunrise tomorrow." The next morning, Marcus found the craftsman in his garden. The elder held 2 identical seeds in his palm. He offered one to Marcus. "Place this seed beneath the earth." Marcus dug a small hole with his finger and gently nestled the seed inside, covering it with soil. The craftsman then held up the second seed for all to see. He called out to some children playing nearby, "Look, this tiny seed will one day become a magnificent tree." The children clapped their hands in delight. Then, the elder simply placed that seed on top of a flat stone in the open sun and walked away. Time went on. Every day, the craftsman would quietly water the spot where the first seed was buried. He never spoke of it. Marcus would visit often, and soon a delicate green sprout pushed its way through the soil. With each passing week, it grew stronger and taller. All the while, the elder remained silent, simply tending to the growing plant. Meanwhile, the second seed, the one left out on the stone, began to wither. The hot sun baked it, and curious birds pecked at it. It never had a chance to grow. After many weeks, Marcus stood before a sturdy, healthy young plant rising from the earth. The other seed was long gone, shriveled to dust. The craftsman finally spoke, his voice gentle. "Marcus, all true growth requires a period of silence. It needs darkness and protection. A seed must remain hidden to germinate. When you expose it to the world too soon, it withers. It becomes vulnerable to the elements and never matures into a tree. Marcus stared at the vibrant plant, and something inside him clicked. The craftsman continued, "When you announce your dreams before you've even started, you receive what psychologists call premature satisfaction. The praise and validation from others make you feel as if the work is already done. Your brain registers a sense of achievement before any real effort has been made. The powerful drive to actually do the work gets consumed by empty words." Marcus felt a flush of embarrassment. He realized that every single time he announced a goal, the praise he received was enough to satisfy him. He was enjoying the feeling of success without ever earning it. The elder placed a reassuring hand on Marcus's shoulder. "Your dreams are like delicate seedlings in their infancy. They need to be protected. Guard them in silence. Nurture them with quiet, dedicated work. When your tree finally stands tall and strong, its very presence will speak for itself. You won't need to say a word." Marcus thanked the old man, his mind buzzing with this new understanding. That evening, he made a new commitment to himself. He chose one single modest goal: to build a simple wooden chair. This time, he made no announcement. He told no one. He simply began. Each night, he went to his workshop and quietly worked with the wood. Some nights, he felt energized and enthusiastic. Other nights, he was tired and frustrated. But because nobody knew what he was doing, there was no one to ask about his progress. The external pressure was gone. Days turned into weeks. The chair slowly took shape. Marcus faced challenges, made mistakes, and learned from them. He was acquiring new skills through action, not words. Steadily, the chair became a solid, beautiful piece of furniture. When it was finally complete, Marcus sat down on his creation. A sensation he'd never felt before washed over him. Authentic pride. Not the hollow, fleeting pride from verbal promises, but the deep, profound pride that comes only from real accomplishment. One morning, his neighbor happened to see the chair through the open door of his workshop. "Marcus, this is remarkable," he exclaimed. "When did you make this?" Marcus just smiled modestly. "I've been working on it quietly." The neighbor was surprised. "You never mentioned it." Marcus nodded. "I wanted to finish it before I talked about it." Word of the chair spread slowly, organically. People came to admire his handiwork, and their respect was genuine. But Marcus had already started his next project in secret, a small table. Once again, he revealed nothing. He just worked in solitude. The table was completed, then a shelf, then a stool. Years rolled by. Marcus became known as a master craftsman, but he never pre-announced his projects. He only revealed his creations after they were finished. The town's respect for him deepened, because they saw that his actions carried far more weight than words ever could. Marcus's entire life was transformed. He no longer craved validation before he began a task. He had discovered something far more valuable: the quiet, steady satisfaction of building something real with his own two hands. Now, think about your own journey. How many times have you declared a goal, only to watch your motivation dissolve into thin air? When you verbalize your plans too early, you're essentially giving away your power. You're letting the reactions of others replace your own internal drive. So protect your dreams. Keep them close. Let your finished work be your announcement. The world doesn't need to hear about your plans. It needs to see your results. The next time you feel that powerful impulse to broadcast a new idea, try resisting it. Just for a little while. Stay silent. Let that seed of an idea develop in the quiet darkness of your own effort. When your tree has grown strong and tall, everyone will see it, and you won't have to say a single word. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Subscribe for more stories that can help transform the way we see our lives. Thanks for watching.